schools in the city. And in my work alongside Porthios and Alhana, I also came to know Sylvan O'Shea as a young elf, and it is my relationship with him that brings me here. He asked me to accompany him to the funeral of the great Caravan Magier.
Okay. So, you're at this funeral. You're amongst the VIPs. You see this crazy Kender just pops out of nowhere, yelling that he's the real Tasselhoff Burfoot. And Tasselhoff Burfoot has been dead for a number of years already. He died supposedly in the Chaos War, in the battle against Chaos. It does strike you as odd as this person is yelling, but you really are tuning him out, and you're just focusing on that pennant. So as you go to reach, you touch the pennant, and of course you hear, "Hey, that's rude! That you shouldn't do that!" And then you hear directly into your head, "There's work to be done. You must go on a long journey. I will aid you along the way. Say yes, and my power is yours."
I look around, and I'm excited that that this could possibly be Tasselhoff Burfoot. He's a legend, but the voice in my head has me more intrigued at the moment. So I close my eyes. I just whisper, "Yes."
Okay. So the last thing you know before a palette of bright hues absorb your consciousness is, "Find me. Don't let her steal me." And then you disappear. So that's our prologue. Before we jump into the main campaign, I just want to say a few things. Erevan is a first-level Warlock, and John was awesome enough to work on a new patron for his Warlock class. John, do you want to tell us just quickly, just in a few minutes, not long because we're a little bit behind, about what you did for your class there?
So my patron is it's not necessarily a single thing. It's called the sentience of the art, where any item or place that is steeped in magical power has the ability to kind of gain sentience. And if it's a powerful enough location or a powerful enough item or artifact, then it can grant powers to those that wish to serve it. So that's what I'm doing right now.
Okay. And so basically you wrote up those rules. What you can do is you can go to the Dragonlance Nexus website and go to the 5e rules section, and they are available for you to take a look at if you're following along. All right. So we did that. Let's move us forward or backward because we're time traveling. Also, maybe we should say that your patron is the device of time journey, if you didn't get that already. You can look that one up too. Simple Google search if you don't know what the device of time journey is. All right, so today we are in Palanthas now. It's sunrise on Hidumont the 15th, October for you Earthers. And it's been about 6 months to the day following Dragon High Lord Kiara Utmatar's blitzkrieg on the city. So that's what is called the Blue Ladies' War. It happens around the time when Raistlin is in the abyss and he's wanting to become a god. And Kiara decides to attack, and she has what's left of the Blue Dragon army, and she launches a major assault on Palanthas. And she destroys many buildings. She's ultimately defeated, but a lot of craziness goes on. So right now, it's 6 months later, and Palanthas is in a constant state of rebuilding, especially since many major sites like the Temple of Paladin were completely destroyed. And you guys can see on the map that we have the map of Palanthas there over in the center. So many of the major sites around the... I'm sorry, someone say something? Oh. Many of the major sites around the city like the Temple of Paladin has been destroyed. Regardless, the citizens, government, and Knights of Solamnia are persevering to work together for reconstruction. Even the Thieves Guild stopped robbing guildsmen and building supplies. And so scaffolding surrounds many buildings, and the sounds of tradesmen working early echoes about the city even at dawn. We begin our day at the Hall of Justice in the old city quarter of town, close to the Bay of Brancala. This is all the north area on that map. Inside there is a small brig on the ground floor, and a Minotaur sits awaiting his morning visit. Gerrus es-Nossik has spent most of the better part of 4 months in this cell. He's been treated fairly and regularly receives visits from a Solamnic knight by the name of Sir Robert Usranik, Knight of the Sword and Cleric of Kiri-Jalith. Tim, would you like to share anything about what's happened with Gerrus and why he is in jail?
Well, Gerrus is from a small fishing village in Methys, one of the few places that worship the Great Bison. He was conscripted when Chot Escalon made his deal with Ariacus to join with the dragon armies. He was conscripted along with lots of other Minotaurs to patrol the South Korean Ocean for the White Dragon Army. When the dragon armies fell, he was on his return trip, but was then given orders to transfer over to the Blue Dragon Army, and that's how he got mixed up with Kitiara and the Blue Ladies' War. So he was part of the enemy that attacked Palanthas. While he was there, obviously they lost when the Citadel crashed. Chaos erupted, and the Blue Dragon Army started to retreat. Gerrus, on his way out, noticed several draconians harassing and attacking and looting villages and killing peasants, and he stepped in to stop them and immediately got his axe stuck in a base draconian that turned to stone. And so he was more or less unarmed, just had his horns, and he fought off a number of draconians to save some human peasants. And a Knight of Solamnia, Sir Robert, I believe that was, anyway, a Knight of Solamnia saw his actions, and Gerrus he lasted long enough so that he could allow the Knights of Solamnia to come in and save the rest of the villagers. But he did fall, and that's how he got captured. Before he left Methys, though, his fiancée, his betrothed, named Callista, gave him her perfume bottle, and he was stopped by an old mystic who told him that when his term with the Dragon Army would be done, he would be sent by the Great Bison on a mission of redemption.
Excellent. Thank you for that. So I just wanted to point your eyes to the center area where I'm showing a little bit of fan art that basically just it's a Minotaur fan art in prison by You Can Do That Too. So there's the attribution there. That being said, you have you spent long hours in prison over the last several months. And the person who was very impressed with you was Sir Robert Usranik, who's a Knight of the Sword and a Cleric of Kiri-Jalith. And he befriended you. You guys kind of had some similar ideals. Really, the biggest disagreement that you've had, and he visits you several times a week, was that who was the main hero, Huma or Kazaganthi de Orly, Kaz, against the Second War of the Dragon. And obviously Minotaurs tend to think it's Kaz, and Solamnics tend to think it's Huma. So you guys have just learned to agree to disagree on that fact. Anyway, so it's morning. Sir Robert, dressed in well-polished armor, adorned with the sigils of the sword, arrives. Good morning, Gerrus. May Jolith bless you. Though I'd love to discuss theology, I come with urgent business. And he shares a smile. I've petitioned on your behalf, and the Lord Governor and Knights Circle have an offer regarding your parole back to Mythos. The 2nd Salamnant Brigade has finally defeated the last of the Blue Lady's army. The deceased leader was a Bozak sorcerer. Now, Gerrus, you actually know that leader was Flight Marshal Denham, and he was the commander of the 3rd Flight of the Blue Dragon Army, and he was a draconian obsessed with religious items that have to do with Takesis. And he continues on and saying, when the Bozak exploded, only one item survived, his death throw. The report says it burned the hand of the knight who grasped it, but I do not have the description of that item. This reeks of the blessings of the Dark Queen. If you can assist in identifying it, you'll be released to the next ship bound for Mythos, if that's what you wish. Sir Robert kind of looks at you and seems a little bit forlorn because he may be losing one of his friends. What are your thoughts, Gerrus?
Excuse me. He considers it for a moment, and he says, I know I have a long journey ahead of me, but I will accept your quest in an effort to repay the damage that I was in part responsible for to your city.
Very well. So Sir Robert is able, he gets you out of your cage cell, and some attendants come. They give you your armor and most of your personal effects other than your weapons. But you do notice that Sir Robert has collected all of your weapons and he's slung them to his own. Like, you have a huge axe that he's put on his back. He's got another axe, and he just kind of gives you a wink. Now that you've accepted the terms, he looks at you and he says, we shall be heading to the Great Library of Palanthas. Not too far of a walk, but I hope you enjoy it. And you guys get ready to go. So, do you have anything that you want to do before you leaving prison?
No, I'll follow him along and take a look. It's probably been a while since I've seen the city. It was just such a wreck whenever I saw it. So yes. Take note of the progress as we walk toward the library.
All right. So we will now focus to MacGuffin. Trampas, are you still around?
I am still around.
MacGuffin, you are attending the Three Moons Maid Shop alone right now, as Riven Half-Elven is away on conclave. It's sunrise, and you've decided to open early. Trampas, would you like to share anything about MacGuffin? And what is MacGuffin short for? Because I know what race you are, but I'll let you tell that story.
All right, so MacGuffin is he's a tinker gnome, or more specifically, a thinker gnome or mad gnome. See, he was part of the Thaumaturgy Guild in Mount Nevermind, and he had a fascination with magic. But you see, the Thaumaturgy Guild, they believed that magic was like a power source that could power various devices. They were treating it like it was electricity or something. And he was like, no, you got it all wrong. Technology should just aid in the shaping of magic. And he didn't come across too well, and they figured out that since he wasn't making things that went boom and everything, and he was making things that worked and was focused in a very non-technological manner, that he should be banished and be named a mad gnome. And so they loaded him upon the nearest gnome flinger, and whoosh, off he went.
Catapulted.
And so somehow, though, he landed okay. It was what was the device? Do you remember?
Oh, well, so he is a artificer, and don't you have? So artificers is a newer class from Eberron, but it specifically said that artificers are great for tinker gnomes, and your first level spell, one of them is definitely Featherfall. So you were able to put together some type of gadget to, like a parachute.
There we go. Oh, no. I got it. It was an inflatable thing, and it inflated and landed. I hit it and went.
Oh, okay. I got that one wrong. I'm sorry.
Something like that. But yeah, so he's moved on to Palanthas. You know, he fought in the War of the Lance. You know, he's aided in the reconstruction of Palanthas, and he's been working at the Three Moons maid shop along with Ribbon.
Yep.
Him. And
so a little factoid is when MacGuffin was fighting in the War of the Lance, you fought in a kind of an expeditionary construction battalion comprised of humans, dwarves, and gnomes with the joint Salamnic and Kaolan dwarven forces. I feel like, who could tell me where's Kaolan? Anybody? I'm talking too much.
It's in the mountains.
Kaolan, yeah, they're mountains. It's a dwarven kingdom in Salamia.
Yep, it's close to Salamia. So anyway, during the battle against Lemish, MacGuffin saved the life of Riven, and Riven is a white robe half-elf, and he noticed that MacGuffin used some type of magic, but he couldn't put his hand on it. It didn't seem like normal high sorcery. So they became fast friends. And when MacGuffin returned to Palanthas, he found out that Riven had opened a magic shop. And yes, this is the Three Moons magic shop, which eventually, a couple decades in the future, will become Mistress Jenna's in the shop. But for now, being, only a few months after the Blue Ares War, he opened it up first. She purchases it later. So you're opening up shop, Trampas or MacGuffin. You're doing your normal thing, looking at, dusting shelves, whatever. And suddenly, a very disheveled human barges through the door. He looks nervous and is sweating all over. So one thing to keep in mind is the Three Moons shop is like one block from the Tower of High Sorcery. And it is the only shop on that whole street. Most of those buildings have been abandoned because most of the Salamnics think that the Tower of High Sorcery is cursed. And it was cursed for a long time. Anyway, you see that this young, blonde-haired human walks in, and he's wearing the markers of a Salamnic herald. And he looks at you, squinting, and you're sitting on a chair, but you're definitely a gnome. And he says, are you Riven half-elven, sir?
Oh, I'm sorry, he went out for a little bit. Oh, MacGuffin, can I be helping you now? What the heck accent?
Well, Master Gnome, do you know when he'll be back? I've got a summons. Whoever runs this place, and he kind of gives a glance around. He looks very nervous. He does not trust magic, as many Salamnics do not. And by the order of the governor and the Salamnic Knighthood, you're requested to analyze a relic captured from the final marauders of the Blue Dragon Army. And I can escort you to the Great Library of Palanthas if you like. And he basically vomits those words out and then stands up at attention. He could be no older than 14 years old.
Lad, it's all right. Calm down. You'll be fine. I'm telling you. Master Ribbon is away for a little bit. I think he said he'd be back around lunch. You can wait for him. I will offer my services, although I'm not nearly as skilled as him. But
So Riven will definitely not be back by lunch. He'll be gone for probably a day or two. And
okay.
MacGuffin, you know that Riven is normally the tower representative to the Palanthas government. He was vetted by the city to open the shop. Right now, it's been 6 months after the Blue Ladies War, and the Towers of High Sorcery are really recruiting heavily under the false lie that Raceland went to the Abyss to rescue Lady Chrysania instead of trying to become a god. And so you're seeing more acceptance in wizards and the orders of high sorcery right now. And you guys have noticed, more people coming into the shop. Anyway, so the messenger just kind of nods, and he doesn't care who comes. He just wants somebody. He gives you a scroll sealed. Basically, the scroll is sealed by an emblem of wax, and in that wax looks like 3 moons pressed into it. Do you want him to? I mean, you've been to the library a number of times. You're actually known there because of sometimes the library needs supplies from the maid shop. You know the way. Do you want him to escort you, or do you want to go?
I'll have him escort me, and I'll tell him a few tales from the war.
All right then.
So there we
Okay.
building this bridge.
Okay, let's leave you guys alone, and we're gonna go to Tarn. Are you still there, Chuck? Thank you for waiting patiently.
Still here.
All right. Tarn Winteraxe, you left Kaolin weeks ago with just a strange attraction to Palanthas. You want to tell us a little bit about your character?
I'm playing Tarn Winteraxe. I am a dwarven paladin. Pretty secretive of his what's happened in his life, but at one time he was a member of the Governor's Guard and was assigned to the Temple of Reorx, and some stuff happened, and now he's on his way to Palanthas.
Okay, stuff happened. Cool. Over the past several days, Tarn, you found welcome at the Temple of Reorx in the Temple District of the city because of your acolyte background. You found it strange to see shrines to the gods of darkness in Palanthas, but they're there. You see shrines to Kisis and Hidukul. And actually, it was when Venus Salamnus had built this city, he instituted that all religions will have a place to be for his acceptance. So you've been now in the city a few days. You found the faith of Reorx to be a bit stodgy for your taste, as there is an expectation to be at the forge from dawn till dusk. Also, being that you aren't really a priest, so to say, the expectation is a little different. Many of the dwarven initiates have treated you suspiciously because of your strange powers. Regardless, you have a place to hang your axe, so to speak. Really, the senior priest's only request of you is that you earn your keep. Being that Tarn's no good at the forge, Brother Brannig has asked you to use your experience in stonework and masonry on Reorx's left-handed blessing, because it's not at the forge, it's stonework. Ha ha ha. Anyway, that was really written. That's a real thing. In helping to rebuild parts of the city. And you've basically, the last few days, like 2 days, you've worked close to the Great Library of Palanthas. This is the second day on the job, and you've been restoring some ancillary warehouses close to that little square where the library is. And on your way to work, you see something very strange. And we'll come back to you. Ari Haversack. Weldon, thank you for your patience. You are in Palanthas, on the trail of your quarry, Tanglehop Bunnyfoot. Your sources tell you that months ago he brought down a castle out of the sky, destroying parts of the city. What would you like to share about your character? You're muted, by the way. Unmute. Weldon, you're muted. Weldon. Oh, Lordy. How do we unmute somebody? There you go.
Sorry about that, folks. So I am Ari Haversack of the Haversack clan down in Kindermore. So we are a little bit different than other Kender out there because we take thieving very, very seriously. My ancestor, I think Uncle Tari, a long time ago was basically jailed for being called a thief, and he took it very, very personally. So we have been trying to find anyone who's been claimed as a Kender thief out there. And when we find out any rumors of them, we go out into the world. Myself was told by my Aunt Mame that there was a Tanglehop that somewhere has been doing all sorts of crime all over Anslon. There's talk about something called dragon orbs, and he broke 2 of them as he stole them. There's stuff like I just heard now in Palanthas. He wrecked a castle from the sky. Very, very weird stuff. I'm thinking magic is involved. And so I'm trying to find who this guy is. And from what I've heard, he's a very, very terrible thief. And one of my missions given to me by my Aunt Mame is to find the ring of the daughter of I think I forgot his name, but the mayor of Kenderholm. His daughter had an engagement ring, and it has been lost. And this Tanglehop has stolen it, and it is my mission to find it and bring it back, and also bring this Tasselhop to justice.
Don't you mean Tanglehop?
So I am in the city because I've been told that's where he is. I am looking around. The first thing I think I need to do is find probably the Thieves Guild. Because that's where thieves will hang out, and maybe I can get a lead on where he is.
Okay, so as you said, you've been searching the city. You've noticed that the Thieves Guild doesn't have an address on file, so it's been kind of hard finding them. So you've been searching here and there, and Palanthas is kind of it cracks down against Kender sometimes. And you've found over the last several days that you've been in and out of the city jail. Not for stealing, just because you're a Kender, which definitely assaults your dignity. After being tossed out this morning, you decide to ask around some of the construction sites where buildings are being repaired because you heard, like we just said, that a castle was blown up out of the sky and destroyed some buildings. So you come across a strange scene. Next to you is as you're walking towards this side street, Chuck and Weldon, why don't you guys say to each other what you guys look like? You guys are basically walking down the same street. So Weldon, you're muted again. There you go.
An automatic mute thing on this thing. So I am basically a Kender, 3 foot high, dark hair, dark brown eyes, standard good-looking male of a Kender, and I am looking at you, Dwarf.
Yep.
I am a Hyler dwarf, mountain dwarf. I have black hair, a black beard that's braided down to my waist. I'm carrying off on one side a large battle axe. Have a shield with a symbol of reorcs on the front of it. Wear a tabard with it's a slate gray that covers my armor. And I'm just marching boldly through, not paying a lot of attention to folks around me.
Okay. So you guys are kind of eyeing each other, and I'll say Tarn, obviously, he's a Kender. Weldon, I wouldn't say are you friendly? Would you be curious about this dwarf that you've seen walking next to you?
Yeah, I'm very curious. For one thing, I've heard that this Tasselhop person has a dwarf companion named Flynn, and I need to check this out. So I'll make slight introductions. Hi, my name is Ari. Ari Haversack. Your name wouldn't happen to be Flynn, would it be?
My name is Tarn. What do you want?
Nothing. I was looking for a dwarf named Flynn. Basically, I think seems to be some a mountain dwarf. But I guess if that isn't you, would you know of anyone by that name?
I know a couple of Flynn's. What are you saying? Flint?
So
Jim?
before Ari, you get an answer off, you hear ahead of you about 20 feet a motley group of people, and they look to be gambling with some kind of dice. And what's strange is they're in the middle of this side street, so there's not, obviously it's very early, so there aren't many people on the street, but they're doing it right in the middle of the street. And among them are dwarves, and they look to be mostly craftsmen. Like, they have their tool bags on. There's a few Kender. And then there's a human wearing pure white robes, and they look a bit mud-stained at the edges. The man in white has a medallion made of platinum in the shape of a triangle. And it kind of catches your eye as it's shining in the morning light. And these folks are just laughing, having a good time, and motley and loud, but they seem to be getting along. And walking around among them is this strange dwarf. He's dark-haired. He's taller than average for his race. He has a very thick, curly beard that spills down a silk shirt that looks almost puffy, like like one of those Shakespearean shirts. And his beard goes down to his buckle that's holding up crimson velvet breeches. Like, this is the most dandy dwarf you've ever seen. He's wearing a red jacket to match his pants, and even his black shoes seem fancy because the heels are stained red. So he's just walking jovially among these gamblers. One who looks definitely Tarn to you. He looks like a priest of Paladin. And he's sharing this clay jug. And on it is a mushroom that's emblazoned on the clay jug. And you guys know that even from where you could smell dwarf spirit. It's potent in that clear morning air. And everybody looks a little tipsy. And so you guys are kind of standing watching this crazy crowd in the middle of the street. And this dwarf with this big jug of dwarf spirits looks at you. He's like, "Oi, it's here. Come join us. We've been waiting all morning." What are you doing?
Well, first, you mentioned that there were a couple of Kender around there. I basically approach around, take a look at if these Kender fit the description of the guy I'm looking for. I basically try to do an observation of the game that they're playing, and basically see if they're approachable. At some point, I'd have to see if they're also friendly enough to share their information, because maybe they know something about this guy.
Okay. So before you're able to go approach the Kender, the dwarf, who's dressed all funky and pretty looking, and I've got some art up there of one of his trading cards. Yeah, his name is given away there. You could see that in the middle there that I'm sharing. And he steps before you, but Tarn, what are you doing?
Well, I see the jug, so I immediately pull up my drinking mug, as any proper dwarf would do, and I walk forward boldly with it out, and wait for it to be poured.
Oh yeah, so he pours, and he fills that mug up, and it's surprising too because so many people are drinking on this thing. It does not seem to be empty. He says, "My name is Duggan Redhammer," he says with a very exaggerated bow. Come, roll the Calantina dice for a tumble. You may just forget your worries for a moment." So, Calantina dice. That would maybe, if you guys have knowledge history, or I'll even allow knowledge, or history or an arcana check. If either of you have that. Do either of you guys have that?
Well, here, I do not have either.
Okay. So what it looks like is, I'm sorry, go ahead, Weldon.
Yeah, I don't have it either.
Okay. So it
I have
looks
a
like
+8 on history in general.
you have what? Say again?
+8?
In history?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Roll it.
So roll the 14 +8, so I got 22.
Oh, wow. Yeah, so Calentina dice they're basically they're used to tell fortunes. And they've been around for a long time, but they also are used for gambling for people who don't necessarily understand them. And he asks you, do you want to roll, take a tumble?
Well, I look at the dice. Is there anything special or important about them?
They're just 12-sided die that have a number of symbols on each. You're looking like it looks exactly like a die 12, but instead of numbers, there are symbols on it.
Okay. Yeah, when it's my turn, I'll give it a try.
I mean, you can go ahead.
Roll a d12?
Roll 2d12.
2d12, got it.
Mm-hmm. Are you rolling it in the...
Yeah.
Okay.
I rolled a 10 and a 1, so that's an 11.
Oh, so people are grumbling and money's changed. Oh, but you didn't win it either. So Duggan looks at you, Tarn. Do you want to roll by?
I just hold up my hand.
How much is left of that dwarf spirit?
Oh, I'm only sipping it early morning, and I enjoy a fine drink.
Okay. All right. Do you want to roll your die 12 there? Your 2 die 12?
All right.
All right. What did you get? You got a 17. Cool. So basically, people are wagering, and if you guys want to gamble, you can. And a bunch of people, when you roll and you get that number, people cheer. Ah! Kender screaming. The human priest is like, ah! Like all these people are just going nuts because you rolled well. So what I want for you to do is to write this down. For the next 24 hours, you will get a +2 to any die roll if you want to use it as kind of like a special astrological forecasting. And Duggan's there. He's like, oh, that's good fortune, boy. He starts mumbling stuff off that doesn't really, you're just getting a weird feeling about this dwarf that you might have met him before somewhere, but you can't put your finger on it. He's like, I like you both. So are you busy? Do you have a moment? There's an item being delivered to the Great Library of Worth. It needs protecting. I'll give you both lads 25 steel pieces each just to show up. What do you think?
I'm in.
Ari?
Ari,
anything around. I might have some more information for your man. You say Tanglefoot? I know him by the name of Taz.
Really? Okay. You know, if he's here in the city, if there's anything else, like...
you'll have to do the job first, and then you'll get your information.
Okay.
Oh, I bet you will.
I'm in. I need to find out.
Oh, that's great! So great to hear it. Here, drink! And so he shoves a big jug of dwarf spirits in your face.
Even as a Kender, I know it's better not to take on dwarf spirits directly. So I'll politely say thank you. The jug's way too large for me to possibly fit in a pouch or anything else like that. So I'll hand it back.
So as you're handing it, you're just kind of like going like this. That priest of Paladin just grabs it and takes another swig. Like, you've never seen a cleric of Paladin act like this. I don't know if you guys have met clerics, but he doesn't really. It's not normal. Anyway, so Duggan is like, Brother Frederick over there, he's a bit too busy to go. He was originally invited, but he almost bet his fancy medallion there. He won't be needing this. It'll get you access. So he shows you the sealed scroll. The triangle of Paladin has been pressed into the wax. And he says, trust me, lads, this is where you need to be. And so from there, he looks at you, and then he snaps. And he's like, all right, boys, show's over. Your last bet's covered by the house. And many of the dwarves and Kender and the priest, they seem a little bit dismayed, but the cleric kind of says, whatever. I know this wine sink. I know it's open at this time of day. Let's go. And there is much cheering. And Duggan tosses a steel piece to each person and leads the way to the library for you two. Hopefully you follow.
Follow.
Okay. So Duggan
and I take a look at Tarn as well. I'm thinking, all right, well, this person obviously wanted both of us in on this. That's stupid. You can roll an intent to make sure of that. But I'll basically say, approach Tarn and say, it looks like this person seems familiar to you, but I need to know the information he knows. So do you mind if I tag along?
Feel free.
Thank you.
All right.
Hi, my name is Ari, by the way. I try to shake his hand. I'm assuming he, like most dwarves, back his hand off, as most kinders are treated badly.
I shake the hand. The name's Tarn.
Nice to meet you.
Great. All right, so everybody is on their way to the Great Library of Palanthas. The library is a very large 3-story building made of white stone, like many of the other older, magnificent buildings in the old city section of Palanthas. The main entrance has semicircular steps leading to large double doors made of glass. And we're not talking leaded glass, like the pretty good glass. And it's set in bronze that goes directly to the public area of the structure. And obviously, this is a big library. The public section of the library is not very big, but it does exist nonetheless. But that's not where any of you are instructed to go. You're all directed to one of several back doors used by the ascetics that come and go during all hours of the day. So we're going to go to Gerrus. Gerrus and Sir Robert, you arrive first. Along the way, Sir Robert has explained that the knighthood chose to bring the relic to the library as a sort of neutral location as the Temple of Paladin is still being rebuilt. And he says to you, they should be sending a priest by the name of Brother Frederick. I'm not very familiar with him, but he should be there and assist us to see if there's any taint as we think of the dark gods.
Very good.
So you come up to the door. Sir Robert knocks on the oak and iron-bound door around the back of the library. Gerrus, you've noticed that there's a lot of work being done to the surrounding buildings, as we've mentioned before. An old human answers. He looks a bit pudgy, has a shaved head. He's wearing the gray robes of an aesthetic, and he looks very nervous. He doesn't say anything, but Sir Robert hands him a scroll that has the kingfisher pressed into the sealing wax. And he opens it, scans the words, and bows. Hello, Sir Knight. I am Bertram. We have a meeting room ready. Do you take responsibility for your charge? And his eyes are darting from the knight to you, Gerrus, to the Minotaur. And you're a big hulking brute. So you're probably about 3 feet taller than him anyway. Or more.
I kind of snort.
Very Minotaur thing to do, sir. So, and of course, Sir Robert says, yes, I take full responsibility, but he even says, but I won't need to. He's an honorable man, or honorable Minotaur, excuse me. Bertram just kind of nods, and he says, follow me. And carrying a lamp, Bertram leads you down a dark hallway with no windows because sunlight is the anathema of old documents. And then as you're going, you're seeing sheets of scrolls, tablets, old books lining the walls. The air is musty with that paper and dust smell when you walk into like an old bookstore. I love that smell. It's like one of my favorite things. As you pass, you see two larger antechambers full of the same, but just humongous, just full of books and shelves and whatever. But you go straight down, and in those chambers are probably more books than you think possibly could have existed, Gerrus. And you arrive into a wide meeting room. Its stone walls are barren of any reading materials, with one solitary lead and glass window. Two doors are at the east and west sides, covered lamps lined two round Valenwood tables. One round Valenwood table with at least half a dozen chairs around it. Bertram instructs you to wait, closing the door behind you. MacGuffin, you're familiar with the library, and you were led there by the page, and as soon as he gets you to the door, he's like, okay, I have things to do, and he just scurries off. You've been here a few times with Ribbon, and also to deliver supplies. Bertram answers your knock at the door, asks for your scroll, but is kindly to you. He knows who you are, respects you.
Bertram, old friend.
Yes, Mr. MacGuffin, nice to see you. Master Gnome, why is Sir Ribbon not here? This letter is for Sir Ribbon.
He was out of town, and I told the young page that it'd probably be a few days, and he insisted that I come. I'll offer what services I can to you.
Very well, very well. You'll do. At least I don't have to worry. I know you respect our ways. And he leads you in, and you are taken to the room, and in that room is a sandy-haired, bedecked Salamnic knight with sigils of the sword and a very hulking Minotaur, and you. But we'll get back to you in a second. Ari and Tarn, you've haphazardly followed Dugan around the side street to the back of the library. The dwarf asks you to wait a few feet away so he can handle this. He knocks on the door, and Bertram answers like before. You see the aesthetic's eyes go wide, and Duggan motions for you both to come forward. Bertram asks for the scroll, and he gives the scroll to, or Dugan gives the scroll to him, and go ahead, both of you, give me some perception checks.
+6.
Yes, sir. Perception. So perception 11. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, he rolled a 1 on his perception.
Roll a
Okay.
1.
So
I rolled a 10.
you rolled a
total.
10. 16 total. All right, on a 16, Ari, you notice as that scroll is unfurled, there's a dim red glow that surrounds it, and you see Bertram's eyes just kind of glaze over. And he says nothing. He only walks back into the darkened hall, beckoning for you both to come.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Will Duggan let me touch the scroll?
No, he's got the scroll in his hand.
He won't let me touch it? All right.
And he didn't even wait for you. Like, he just started going the opposite direction.
All right. I'll follow Bertram then.
Tarn?
I'm following right behind the Kender.
Okay. As you go passing into the door, you notice now Dugan is nowhere to be found. Like, he has completely disappeared. All right. So as I said prior, he takes you through this long hallway. You see rows upon rows of scrolls and tablets and books and what have you. And now you are all in a very wide room. And there's a table in the center of it. And sitting at the table is a Solamnic Knight and a Minotaur. And you guys can go ahead and why don't you explain yourself to each other, or who wants to make an introduction? What are you guys doing? You're all in a room.
All right, so MacGuffin will look at Gerrus and say, "My, but you're a big one now, aren't you?"
And you are very small.
Observant too, I see. A little far away from home, aren't you?
That is true. Quite far. What brings you all the way from the east? West.
Gnome flinger.
He lets out a big guffaw and hits the table. That's funny.
So, MacGuffin, you know this library well enough that to see a Kender walk in here is like crazy talk.
Hi, my name's Ari. How are you? There was a
gosh.
guy, a dwarf in red, silky but dirty robes that was just here somewhere. He had a red glowing scroll somewhere, and he's gone now. And I've basically told that I was supposed to come here, and he was going to give me some story about, who this Tanglehop person was, and there's no information anywhere. Hi, what's your name?
Oh, they call me MacGuffin, short for MacGuffin Sprocket. Or I'm sorry, MacGuffin Cogsworth Sprocket, and I go on for about a minute here.
I politely listened for his name, and then I immediately do an investigation of the room, looking to see where the guy has gone to, and look around and see what I can find out.
So you guys had come through the west door. That door is closed. Bertram closed it behind him. The east door, excuse me. You were on the east door. I'll show you a map in a little bit. But right now, all you see is just it's mostly a room, a large Valenwood table, chairs, and there's a jug of water and some wooden cups. But it's mostly very simple.
I turned to Sir Robert and I said, "You did not say that I was to be working with Kender."
Sir Robert has already stood up, and he's just kind of glaring down at you, Ari. And he looks at you and he's like, "How are you here, sir? Kender are not typically allowed in the library."
Well, I totally understand, but I'm assuming that the guy who was with this Dugan fellow, he basically allowed us in. Bertram okayed it because he just basically nodded and let us all in. But I don't know where this Dugan's gone to. I was kind of following him in this direction, and he kind of disappeared. Hi, my name's Ari, and basically I make introductions with everyone there, trying to shake their hands as I observe with my investigation skill to see if there's any foul play or a foot going here, because I don't like the fact that this person disappeared on me. And these guys are my next leads, so.
And so Sir Robert's just like, "You're speaking now. Master Dwarf, why are you both here? We were told that Brother Frederick, revered brother, would be coming from the temple, and you have obviously been admitted on his behalf."
Your revered brother is currently face down in a wine shop. We're here because we were promised 25 steel pieces. Now my Riox beard, who is paying it?
And I was told I would find out more about this Kender thief out there, and Kender thieves are bad. His name is Tanglehop, and I need to find out more information for basically tracking down thieves. You know how Kender thieves are. We basically need to put a stop to that. So I'm here to learn anything I can about who this person is, And this Dugan fellow promised that he would give me that as well as the steel pieces. So any information you could give me would be much appreciated.
My noggins hurt me. You're a killer, right? By definition, you're a thief. Kender thief. That's like saying military intelligence or something.
We just insulted you.
No, that is not true at all. I mean, granted, there are, certain thieves out there, but they don't represent all of us. I mean, in fact, my pouch here, and I kind of like take out my pouch and pour a little bit out of it, showing him all sorts of knickknacks and stuff like that. These are all pieces that I have collected that we have to return to the original owners. Because, quite honestly, Kender can take things. I will admit that, but we are not thieves at all. So we don't steal for money. We don't steal for any kind of, anything related to profit. We are actually here to find and return things. That's my mission, and that's what my clan's mission is.
All right, so
seriously need to find him because I heard he's really bad news.
Jeez, Weldon, that's awesome. All right, so as you're like rambling on, everyone give me some perception checks.
Oh, that's the funniest thing I've heard in a while. Okay, Cat.
Go ahead, everybody, roll a perception check.
Bear with me here.
All right.
Windows
no, you're cool.
Okay.
So Weldon made it. Tarn made it. And all right, Tim, your character made it as well.
Figure out how he's a Kender, but not.
Oh yeah, you didn't make it. So regardless, Sir Robert is like, shh, quiet. And so basically, what you hear is through that lead glass window, you hear heavy boots and horse shows outside, and then maybe just a few moments later, Bertram leads in a Salamnic knight, leading 4 men-at-arms that are carrying a chest hooked to slender poles. And that knight looks to be a knight of the crown. He salutes Sir Robert, and the 4 men set down the chest in the middle of the room. Well, actually, the Valenwood table is in the middle of the room, so we'll just say on the northern side of that table. And Sir Robert then dismisses the men, and he asks them, wait outside in the antechamber. And so Sir Robert basically says, well, you've all been summoned here. And shall we take a look at what our job is to analyze this relic?
My payment?
Wise.
Yes, I heard those.
Say again. Your payment.
Is this the payment?
No, Master Dwarf. This is a suspected evil relic that has been taken from the remnants of the Blue Dragon army. So, without further ado, let's take a look. And so he goes over to the chest and he opens it. What you see inside is a black crystal globe about 6 inches in diameter, and it is glowing with this crimson black energy. All right?
I wouldn't touch that.
Gerrus.
This does not have
I would. Like, I look at it and I like it. Look at it a little bit.
Do you really poke it?
Yeah.
Do?
I'm curious about why it has a red glow.
Oh my lord. So go ahead. I believe you are surprisingly a lawful good Kender, correct?
Well, I don't see any. Well, you're right. I am, and maybe I shouldn't be thinking about it if I had time to think. But it's just a nice glowing red object with an interesting description.
give me
If I have
a.
time to see his hand shooting toward it, I'm going to try to stop it, like grab his wrist or
Give
something.
me a dex check.
Oh, yeah, I'll
There.
lose. Never mind.
Just roll the dice.
All right. Yeah, no.
No. All right. Well, then give me a a wisdom saving throw.
Oh man, I have 8 wisdom. All right.
Yikes.
Wisdom saving throw. D.
There's a dice roller Weldon over on the left side.
Oh, is there? I don't see it.
It's on that little. Yeah. All right. Good.
All right.
Oh.
Oh. All right.
Oh wow! I rolled a 20. Yeah.
You rolled a 20, so you feel like you should have been burned, but you're able to move your finger. Something happens. You fight against whatever it is that's trying to shock you. You don't take any damage.
I let everyone else like, woo, this thing feels hot. Careful, guys.
Gerrus.
Touch it now.
Gerrus, this looks like something that was described to you in the scuttlebutt when you were with the Dragon Army. The scuttlebutt was when Flight Marshal Denham got his hands on it. It had to do with draconians. Like it does something with draconians. You know that, and he said specifically to some of his sub commanders that it could replenish any casualties they would have. Now he was in charge of almost all the draconians in the that section of Kidiara's army.
All right. Well, I say that out loud. This I have heard of this device. It has special properties pertaining to draconians specifically.
Okay. Does anybody else want to do anything with this?
Yeah. So I want to examine it. I kind of go. I don't touch it. Do not touch it. But focus my spectacles a little bit and pull across this thing that kind of amplifies the vision a little bit and just try to figure out what it's about. And can I roll?
Well, with Gerrus saying what he did, you can go ahead and give me an Arcana check.
That's what I was going to ask.
Cool.
Let's see. Boom.
Woo! Wow.
I know all the things about it.
You do. So, let me get there. Sorry.
Oh, so this was made in 384 PC.
So you get very interested, and you think this is the heart of Drakart. So, back during the War of the Lance, the Whitestone forces mounted a serious opposition to the Dragon armies, and Harrowell Drakart, and he's a black robe mage, and Takesis decided that they didn't want to depend on metallic dragon eggs or the union of very powerful evil beings to make draconians. And this has something to do with making draconians from draconian. Like, it's been known to multiply them. And with your role, you know it can multiply them, but typically if they make more draconians, depending on the draconian, they might be a little stupid comparatively to the normal draconians. But this is definitely an artifact of Takesis. And then anyone else with knowledge, or I'm sorry, I keep saying knowledge, but anyone with religion experience can also make a roll.
I'm too busy sipping.
All right. So you got a 7. That's not enough. Well, then, no. 15 plus 15. Where'd you get a 16 from? Oh, you rolled 2 die 20. No, that didn't work out. So anyway, all right. Basically, MacGuffin, what do you want to share?
I tell everything about that to everyone,
Okay. All right. As you're kind of rattling off as gnomes do, and as you're doing that, on the other side of the table, a flash of blue light fills the room. Erevan, why don't you go ahead and take yourself off mute and describe yourself? This crazy elf just shows up.
Okay, I appear. I look completely bewildered because I have no idea where I'm at. And I'm a Kagonesti elf who, as Kagonesti are, they've got tattoos. I've got kind of like these circular and spiral shaped tattoos, along with some kind of squarish and rhombus shaped. And before your eyes, you see the dark ink that was my tattoos change, and the black turns like a gem-hued red, green, and blue. So my tattoos are all just before your eyes changing colors into these gem hues. And I'm just looking around, completely astonished and unaware of exactly what's going on. So I kind of back up towards a wall that's nearby, so I can kind of keep everything in front of me that I can see.
Yeah, so the wall's about 10 feet back from you. You're on the southernmost part of the room. Again, I'll get a map when we need to. Anybody reacting that? So Sir Robert has drawn his longsword. He's like, "What devilry is this?"
Okay. So I can tell he's a knight. Is he wearing like knightly armor?
Knight of Salamia. You would know that. Not a hard cry. He's probably a knight of the sword. He's got the sword sigils all over his armor.
Okay. I kind of hold a hand up and I draw a curved kind of stick thing. A boomerang is my weapon. I just kind of hold my hand up towards him. And I notice that my fingers are kind of like glowing now.
Yep.
And that takes me by surprise. Like, you can see a surprised look on my face as I see my fingers glowing. Like, I'm looking at my hand like it's not my own. Like, I don't recognize what's going on at all.
Okay.
Do you know Dugan? Did he send you to pay us? This Kender needs some information also.
I don't know who Dugan is. I don't know what Kender you're talking about. I don't even know where I'm
right
at.
Here.
Hi.
Cute little
How
guy.
are you?
Lord. What is this place? Who are you? Like, I'm looking around like a caged animal. Like, I don't know what is going on.
So the Salamnic Knight raises his hand. You are in the Great Library of Palanthas. You're in a waiting room, and you have definitely impeded upon something that you perhaps do not belong here, Elf. What brings you here?
Magic, I think.
Oh, yeah. So that being said,
I was going to
Go ahead.
If I could roll an Arcana here.
Yep, go ahead.
Let's see what this is all about. Is that automatically rolling with advantage?
Oh, it just rolls up. I'll change your character sheet here.
If it rolls the 2 dice, just check the one on the left is your normal roll.
Well, I like that one better anyway.
Just pick the higher one, whatever.
Yeah.
Even on a 20, I mean, you didn't roll a nat 20, you rolled a 20 on your advantage. You have no damn or crinnish idea of what magic brought him here, other than it was definitely arcane. It wasn't any spell that you were familiar with.
I walk over to him. I'm like, "Peace, friend. My name's MacGuffin. I work at the
Okay,
Three Moons.
So a strange
kind of
little
hold my
gnome.
hand down toward them to kind of like, not let him get too close.
Okay.
And I say, I was just in the town of Solus, and I saw a gem encrusted. Is there a mage here?
Well, I'm not exactly a mage. There's Master Erevan, but he's away for a few days. My name's MacGuffin. I work at the shop with him.
Well, I might need to speak with your master. Something obviously magical has happened, and I'm not quite sure what. I saw a Kender appeared who claimed to be Tasselhoff Barefoot, hero of the lands who's been dead for decades. And
what?
Yeah, so you guys all know Tasselhoff Barefoot is alive and well. So as you make that response, the door on the opposite side, the western door, opens. It opens silently, and an aging human dressed in gray robes with graying hair steps into the room, quietly closes the door, comes to the table, sits down, saying no words, takes a small book out, takes an ink pen or a quill and the bottle of ink, and he starts writing. And he looks directly to Erevan, and he says, "You do not belong here. Neither."
All right, I think this is the guy that pays us.
And he says, "Neither does that." And he points to the heart of your heart. What transpires goes against what is intended to be written. And he says nothing more and only begins writing and observing. And as soon as that happens, outside, you hear what sounds like explosions. I'm not going to make you roll perception checks, but it's definitely coming from somewhere down the side street. Sir Robert runs to the opposite door. He instructs you, he says, "Guard the heart," and you hear him leave while he goes to investigate. And he secures the door behind him, and you hear the guards outside follow Bark's orders. And then, did someone want to say something? I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I just said I was immediately on my feet when I heard the explosion. And if he runs out, I'm like, oh.
No, he looks at you and he orders everyone to stay to guard the artifact.
Okay.
Ed,
So, yeah.
Does that sound like an explosion like caused by explosives like gnomes would have?
No, it sounds like a magical explosion. But it's hard to tell. You couldn't, honestly, from where we are, and you weren't able to see it, you can't tell. So it just sounds like a normal explosion. I don't feel comfortable with you making a check because you weren't able to see it. You're hearing it through a window down the street. If you really feel the need to try and roll it, that's okay. Give me a perception check. Here, we'll give it a try to see how well you heard it.
God, perception's like my...
Yeah, you don't know what the hell you heard. Sorry. Okay. So as you hear the footsteps go away, you're this strange man. Anybody? So MacGuffin, you know that's Astinus. You've actually never seen him, but you've heard him explained. And all of the weird things about him is that he records time. And he's supposedly one of the first people to ever step foot on the planet. But anybody else than you would not know who that is. But he is just carefully writing and looking at all of you. But his eyes are mostly settled on Erevan, who's the Kagonesti elf with the strange tattoos and the weird glowing eyes.
I walk up to him and I said, Master Astinus, it is an honor to meet you.
He basically ignores you and keeps writing. He doesn't even look up from his. I mean, no offense. That's pretty much.
Can I go up to him, make an introduction, and maybe get a sneak peek at the book he's writing? That stuff.
You surely can. As you walk up to him, more explosions sound outside, and then suddenly the room goes dark for pitch black.
I draw my weapons.
Yep, we'll get there. Let me change the map up now, and I'm going to have to change a little bit. Give me 1 second.
So there's no windows in this room we're in?
There is the one. You said
one window. Yeah.
One window.
That's where I'm at, yeah.
And that's, okay, you're at that window? Okay. I'm going to have to move your maps around a little bit. Give me a second. Oh, come on. Do the thing here. There we go. All right. So, Gerrus, you said you're at the window?
Yeah.
All right. Where's your mini? There he is.
It's at the bottom.
Yeah. So you're at the window over here. We'll say you run up. Astinus is right here. And we'll say, Ari, you're next to Astinus.
That's not me.
What's that?
I was just looking at your
Oh,
map.
I'm sorry. No, that's not Ari. I'm sorry. That's Erevan. Erevan, you're all the way at the back of the room. Your dude's right there. Okay, Gnome is over here. Tarn, where are you in this room?
I've been sitting right where I'm at.
Okay.
But
All
now
right.
I'm standing, weapons drawn.
Of course. So you notice some strange things. Suddenly, the door on the eastern side is ajar, and 3 people have appeared out of nowhere. And well, let's go ahead. Give me some perception checks, everybody, just to see if what else you catch here.
Do we really want me to do that?
Well, I mean, you're definitely the bookish type.
Yeah, but perception is not my thing.
Mhm.
Apparently it's mine.
You were
transfixed.
not lying.
I'm just in awe that Astinus, however you pronounce his name, is here in front of me. I mean...
And he's recording history. Okay, so obviously MacGuffin sees nothing. Gerrus, you have noticed that in... hang on a second. Let me just maximize here. So right here is that next to you is that chest. It is now empty. The artifact is gone. Erevan, you have also you've noticed that whatever's in this chest is gone, and that's it. And then over to the right, you see another strange thing. 3 people have gone ahead and appeared. This guy here in the middle looks to be a beige draconian, and I'm not going to make you make rules about that because this is right after the War of the Lance. There's been attacks on the city. You know what a beige draconian is. These 2 dudes, though, are very strange looking. They look to be draconians, but their scales have been covered red. And they're both brandishing great axes. And of course, the beige is also brandishing a long sword.
Rotan.
Right. We're going to do initiative, so give me a second. There is one more thing, though, which I'll have to now add to the board because who saw? Yeah. So, Tim, your Minotaur sees at the opposite edges. Let me just get here real quick. I got to move these guys and bring them to the right thing. GM overlay, sorry. Come on. Do the thing. Why isn't it doing it? There you are. So, layer. Bring him to the token layer. And layer. Bring him to the token layer. All right. Oh, sorry, guys. Give me 1 second. Objects and tokens. All right. So I guess there's a little hard to see on the map, but you see 2 more of strange-looking draconians, Tim, or Gerrus, and they have black scales instead, and they are holding short swords, but they seem to be hiding and skulking in the shadows. All right. So let's work on turn order. So I guess I need to add turn orders to each one of these guys?
We all need to select our tokens and then click on initiative in our character sheet, and it will automatically generate.
Cool.
Oh, hold on.
For some reason, mine's doing decimals.
That's because you've got your toggles, or you've got the tiebreakers picked.
Which tokens? I think that's it.
Your token is the metal-looking guy south of your token is this guy right here, Trampas.
Okay.
You see him?
Yes. Sorry, I'm having to readjust things.
I understand. You should be able to control him, and again, thanks for patience. We're working through our encounter here.
Okay, so there's.
Oh, nice, John.
Yeah, it is good.
So
Somebody needs to roll high.
Did I do that right?
What's that?
So how do I roll the initiative on here?
Just click the word initiative.
Oh, the word.
Yeah, select your token first, though.
Yeah.
You're in MacGuffin. Apparently, you're quick on your feet, though.
I have no idea what's going on, but
You're used to reacting to things. You're like, oh, what's that noise? After it's happened.
Well, after living in Mount Nevermind, that's to be expected.
So how do I add a token to the initiative then?
Click on the gearbox.
Yeah.
Then you just click on add custom item, or just type in add custom item.
Oh, got you. I understand now. All right.
And don't do the round calculation, because I'll just keep adding whatever you put in.
All right. How do you add the dice roll?
You just click on, so you add it in the bars. Click on that 0.
Yeah.
We just need Weldon too to add it.
It's okay. I'll just roll the die 20.
Hey,
and that was a 17.
Here's something interesting. One of our people on our chat is Gary Con.
Cool.
And I have to wonder if that's Luke Gygax.
I believe it's Luke Gygax. Welcome, Luke.
Hello.
I invited him, and he went to the initial channel originally, so I had to guide him to our new channel.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I'm glad you made it there.
Oh.
All right, sorry, I'm rolling initiative real quick, guys.
We're still missing Weldon too.
Oh, this guy got really bad.
Mine.
So you got a 1. Cool. Right then.
And you got 16, Weldon?
I guess so.
I'll add you.
I don't think I have myself set up in the same way you guys have. I don't see my initiative.
You should.
20.
There, I put you in the tracker though.
Okay.
All right, so 10 was 13. Okay, you got 13. All right.
I was gonna say, Weldon, do you have your character sheet opened?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you open up your character sheet, you can roll everything off from that.
So let's see. We got to go by We got to organize this, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can just put them in whatever order you
And
want.
descending. Okay, so all right. Erevan or MacGuffin, who has a higher dex score?
Ooh.
That'd be MacGuffin.
All right, MacGuffin, you go first.
Oh, great. All right, so...
So you see the weird 2 red draconians, which you've never seen before, and then a Baz. All of them have weapons drawn.
Well, just for that, I think I should draw a weapon as well. I'm going to pull out what looks like a long stick with a handle, and at the back of the stick is like, I pull out the nose from behind me. And so, let's see here. Who's at the bottom here?
That's Erevan. That's the elf.
Okay. So,
Most kick butt elf ever.
so I'm going to move about here. And am I close enough to cast Acid Splash?
Yes.
All right. Let's see here.
So isn't your movement 25?
Oh, is it?
I believe so.
Mhm.
So you'll have to move 1 square back, I think. So you were right there, yeah? 1, 2, 3. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 5.
It's right there.
Yep.
1, 2,
There you go.
5.
You're still well in range for it.
Okay, so let's see here where my character should go. I need more monitors.
You just click on the right-hand side there where it says journal.
He got it.
Dexterity save. Okay. Let me look at this guy's dexterity save. Okay, what's his dex save? Got it. He failed, so he will take your damage. So 6 acid?
Yep. So
All right.
this kind of greenish looking goo is spewing forth from this, and I'm here just like but you'll notice that there's a little bit of energy coursing through my hands through this thing.
All right. So you, a blob of acid goes off, I guess. What did it come off again?
Basically, I've got an acid gun.
Okay. And it burns this large red draconian all over its left arm. And you could see just scales being burned away. You did a good chunk of damage to him. All right. Erevan.
Okay. So I see these creatures. My blood is racing. I've fought through the nightmares of Sylvanesti, undead, various types of creatures like that, but I've never actually came face to face with draconians. So their appearance kind of startles me. So I edge a little closer, and the one closest to me, there's a voice in my head that tells me to unleash. That I have the ability to just unleash power to these.
So Erevan, yeah, you were able to. So that's fine. Okay.
So I am going to do a witch bolt.
Okay.
So a 14 to hit.
14 to
Lightning
hit.
strikes out of my hand towards the closest creature here.
Yep. You hit him.
And 4 lightning damage.
All right. Hang on a second. Come on, dude. Sorry, my computer's being slow for some reason. There we go. 4 lightning damage to the Black Draconian. Now that you've hit him, for some reason, not letting me do the thing here. Sorry. Why are you not letting me do this?
Well, now I know not to do that.
There we go. All right.
I got your back.
All right. So you did 4 damage to him, and everybody can see that guy in the corner now because he's been lit up. He's been lit up by sparks.
Yeah, and it's a continuous like shock of lightning. It's kind of like force lightning from the Emperor from Star Wars. Like it's just a bolt of lightning just keeps shooting out of my hand.
Okay, so that's disturbing.
It is. At least I'm not going. Ha, 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 ha.
Right.
You are in my mind now.
John.
Okay.
What you got to realize here is John came to visit one time. He drives some Uber here and there, and he got a ride here to Kansas City, and so
From St. Louis. That was a great trip.
Yeah, and so we go to Jack Stack Barbecue because he wanted to experience some really good Kansas City barbecue, and Jack Stack's one of the best ones locally.
Very good.
So we go there, and there's this guy that let's just say I think he enjoys a little bit of the pipe weed, a little too much at times. And so we were joking with him and his wife, and he just kept laughing like he sounded just like Count Von Count.
Okay.
I knew it was hilarious.
Then I showed John the anatomically correct bull they have outside.
Nice. All right, so Erevan, if you're not cackling, you moved and shot lightning, and I'm guessing that's your. So we will go now to the Bays Draconian, Boz, Bays, however you say the dang old word. He does not like you or the gnome, so he's 2, 5. And he is going to attack you, MacGuffin, because you shot acid at his buddy. All right. Uh-oh. AC 23. He has a plus on this.
Well, as we all know, Gnome 7, AC of... No, never mind. You
24.
Right.
No, I got a 15.
You take... sorry. You take 7 damage.
I don't want to take 7 damage.
Actually, I'm sorry. You take 8 damage. It's my bust.
Yeesh.
All right. Do you know how to do your hit points, or would you want me to do it?
Okay, so I did it on the sheet there, but
yeah, you got it. You're at 2. Perfect. All right. So that guy had his turn. Ari.
I pull out my hand crossbows.
Okay.
And I try shooting down the baz.
Okay. Go ahead.
So how do I do this? So roll the 20 hit. 9 plus 7. That's 16.
16 is a miss.
Oh.
All right. The bad draconians. This guy is going to move towards you, Erevan. He's going to take a swipe at you with He has a rapier out. Erevan, what is your AC?
My armor class is 13.
You definitely take a hit.
I'm a warlock, and I'm squishy.
Yeah, you are squishy. Lord, these guys are stronger than I thought they would be.
Yeah, considering I'm nearly dead.
Erevan, you take 4 damage.
All right. I'm not dead yet.
Correct. All right.
That's all right. I got plenty of character ideas. Bring it on.
All right. So other Black Draconian is going over towards the Minotaur. And he is going to go ahead and attack.
Fool.
Oh, come on. Don't do that. Ooh, he actually might hit you.
He did.
Yeah. Okay. Seven damage.
Oh.
This is not a... I did not think this encounter was going to be so bad for you guys. All right. Tarn.
Oh, I need to make a concentration check.
Oh, go ahead.
Because I got hit. So that's just a constitution check, right?
Yeah, DC.
Please.
Or it's just a D20.
It's a saving throw.
All right. Just a standard D20, DC 10?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Ooh.
All right. My witch bolt is gone when I got hit.
Okay.
He stabbed me, and since I didn't know what I was doing with this magic anyway, it completely escaped me.
All right. Tarn, your attack.
Yeah, I'm rolling up. I'm feeling not too confident after I see everybody else getting whacked.
Remember,
26 for 13.
You guys all have healing potions.
There you go.
Hey! Ooh, 13 damage? Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, you hit him. He's almost dead.
That's how we do it, boys.
So you swing your axe and you basically drive it deep into the cleft of the draconian's shoulder. And as you notice, like, his blood spills and it hisses on your axe.
Hope that comes out.
Gerrus.
All right. Well, Sir Robert left.
You got this dude right in front of you.
Sir Robert left.
You have a horn, so.
Yep, that's what I'm doing. But it's only a 10.
That's a miss.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there you go.
You know what? I realized that we can retcon that because he would have left you. Just go ahead and give yourself his axe because I just forgot in the whole hubbub. He would have left you an axe because he said guard. So let's just go ahead and roll like you had an axe.
Okay.
That's fine.
Do you care which one?
Whatever axe you wanted to have out. It's fine.
All right. There it is. That's the one I want.
Okay. All right. So you hit him. Do your damage.
All right. There we go. 10.
10 damage. He dead.
Darn right.
Yeah. So, but that being said, go ahead and give me a dex saving throw.
Oh, good lord. Yeah. 16?
You made it.
Yeah.
So you don't take any damage as he crumbles into a acid.
Oh, good. It's all that seamanship training.
Right? Yeah, you're very short-footed. All right, I'm going to take that guy off the map. One thing you do notice as he is killed and the acid is dissolving, there is this strange... He's wearing a necklace as he kind of slowly goes into this vat of acid. There's a necklace, and on that necklace that he's wearing is a dragon scale, or it looks like some type of dragon scale that's about the size of a fist. and it looks to be glowing of all different colors of the rainbow until it's eaten up by the acid.
Oh, okay. All right. I'll make note of that.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, red draconians. This guy comes around and takes a swing on Tarn. Tarn, what is your AC, sir?
Less than what you, or greater than what you rolled. 18.
Oh, 18?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hang on a second. Well, he gets a bonus. I just have an
Yeah.
thing. Let me look at my guy here. That was my bad. I should have done that, and I didn't. Weapon. So, what did I roll again for? Yeah, he rolled a 17, so he misses you. This other guy decides he doesn't like what he's smelling, and he disengages.
I'll be back for you.
All right. Back at the top of the round. MacGuffin.
All right. So I'm going to move. It helps if I actually move on Roll20 and not on the streaming video.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to move here. And
So, whoa. Before you do that, move back to where you were. You have a guy in front of you.
oh, shoot, I'm sorry, I couldn't see him.
That's okay. That guy right here, he's the Baze Draconian or Baz, and he's got a long sword out. Remember he hit you before?
Yes, I don't like him.
Yeah. Well, you probably don't want to die, though.
Well,
Unless you do.
okay. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my acid blobber. I'll come up with a better name for it. And
I think that one is just a great name, Acid Blobber.
I like that name.
and I pointed at him, and I'm like, "Hasta la vista." No, say, "Oh, I don't think so, lad." That sounded kind of dwarvish, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Dwarf. All right.
You are the slowest speaking gnome ever.
Well, I'm kind of mad that way. Cuckoo, cuckoo.
All right. So let me look at this dude here. His deck save is not good. D20. Jeez. Okay, he makes a save.
He what?
He made a save.
No.
He had a
I
17.
You don't get a vote in this, Trampas.
Who wrote these rules anyway? Well, I've never seen anything move so fast. Alright, moving on.
Are you staying where you are, or are you...
Can I, let me ask this. Can I, back up, without him getting an opportunity attack?
Yeah, if you do a slow move back.
Alright, I'm
You
moonwalk.
have to disengage. You've already used your action.
Yeah, it takes an action to disengage.
So it does take an action. You have a move action, but I believe that would provoke an attack of opportunity.
What if I moved, just down one? Like that?
Yeah, you're good there.
Yeah, you're not leaving his danger area, like his reach.
Yeah.
He'll still be able to attack you.
Okay,
Yeah, that
good,
still provokes
because because that's the thing we want.
What? So you're wanting to provoke an attack of opportunity?
No. Oh no, I'm sorry. I was goofing about something.
No, you're fine where you're at. You're just gonna be still attacked by him.
Right on
so
his turn.
I
right?
believe.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Because I didn't think it was opportunity attacks until you moved away from him, right?
Correct. He's got to use a reaction to do it, and he has one reaction.
Okay.
Okay. So you just did that move, but okay. All right.
Yeah, so I tried to shoot my acid blobber, and it did not work. It jammed.
All right.
No, literally, it produced jam for some reason.
All right. So Erevan, your turn.
All right. So I am going to focus again on this voice that's telling me that I can do these things that I didn't know I could do. And I kind of remember that my fingertips were glowing earlier, so I just kind of look at my hand and aim it towards this thing in front of me, and try to do a Eldritch Blast.
Cool. Do it.
All right. Yeah, it's an 8 to hit.
And I thought you got advantage, right?
Oh, do I?
Do you have advantage on that list? That's why I'm asking you. You rolled it with advantage.
It's the way I have it rolled. It just always rolls, but you read the left one if I don't have a advantage or disadvantage.
Oh, okay. So no, an 8 will miss him.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I've got it set to always just roll the 2 dice.
All right. So the Baz. Good Lord. I'm going to feel really bad about this, Trampas. Yeah. Okay.
Well,
and I will move back over here.
Okay. Trampas, what is your AC again?
it was a 15.
Okay. Cool.
Ed,
He misses you.
Ed, you get an attack opportunity on the elf too.
I do. All right. Let me roll that. Yeah. I believe that will hit you on an 18.
Oh, I didn't even see that guy that was right next to me. I thought I was this guy. I didn't even notice the guy.
No. There's a guy here too. Did you not want to make that move?
No, I would not. And actually, my attack roll would have been at disadvantage because I'm in melee range with him then. So the 8 definitely would have missed him.
Okay. All right. So the Baz misses MacGuffin. We'll go to Ari.
So my turn?
Yes.
Okay. So to be more familiar with 5e, what does it take for me to jump on top of the table? Take 5 steps up to the Baz right next to Trampas and to hit him. I need to pull any special move to climb up to the table?
You can do that fine. Just do you have an athletics check?
Yeah, because my plan is I'm going to drop my crossbow. I'm going to pull out my rapier. I'm going to jump over the table and try to sneak attack that Baz and see what I can do from it. I think I'm able to do it with an advantage because he's currently engaged with Trampas. So athletic check.
Yes.
Is it athletics or acrobatics?
So there is no acrobatics anymore.
Yeah, there is.
There is for dexterity?
Oh, no, it is. No, acrobatics. I'm so sorry. I don't know why.
Okay, so roll a d20 plus 10.
Okay. Sorry, I got my wires crossed there for a second. It's been a long day.
Roll d20 plus 10.
Good Lord. Yeah. You did fine there. Yeah, you made it.
Right?
Yeah,
So
you're
I can move this guy right up here.
Yep.
That's 5 steps. That work?
Yep, works for me.
All right, and then with the rapier, I'm doing this right. I'll be a +7 to attack. On.
That's a hit.
I get 22.
That's a hit. Roll your damage.
Worked? Did I get him?
Yeah, you got him. Roll your damage.
All right.
Yep.
So that means, getting this right, 1d8 plus 5.
Plus 1d6.
Plus 1d6.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
Ah, 2. So 8 points of damage.
That's good. Good hit. Oh, wait. Math is hard. Okay. Cool. All right, so you go in there and you stab him in his neck with your rapier. And you...
That's a balance. So I'm wondering, do I use my knife? Would I use my rapier?
All right, so the remaining Black Draconian goes ahead and attacks Erevan. He will miss. Tarn.
All right, I will swing for the fences here. Feeling slightly more confident, but not really. There's a reason. 12.
Okay. No, 12 will miss.
Yep.
Gerrus.
Okay, I'm gonna use.
You're within distance of that closest one if you want to try and get him.
I'm going to use my. Well, let's see. I thought I was going to do that, but I'm going to move to that guy, and I'm going to make an attack with my Great Axe again.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, I rolled a 1.
Ooh, whoops.
See, you're holding the axe all wrong. You've got it turned around. You're holding
You're
it
in my way.
wide end.
What are you doing hanging around my knees for?
Lord. Okay. All right. The Red Draconians. This guy who's been down to 1 hit points moves off the map into the corner. So I'm going to go ahead and just delete him off the map for now. He runs away. This dude is going to attack the dwarf. And he missed. All right.
You see, he sees me as a threat.
All right. We're on round 3 now. MacGuffin.
Chug, chug, chug. Potion of healing.
Okay. All right. So roll 2d4 plus 2. Or do you want me to roll for you?
No, hold on. Let me see if I can do this here. Slash roll. D4 plus 2. Let's see if I did that right. D4 equals 2, but that doesn't even.
It's like you got 7, maybe. It doesn't. That's kind of a weird. Weird.
That doesn't even look right.
Here, I'll just roll for you. It's not a big problem.
Please.
All right, so 4 plus 2 is 6. 6 hit points.
Yay.
All right.
And that'll do it for me.
All right, you're up at 8. You gonna change your? Do you want me to do it, or are you good?
Think about it. Did that do it?
Yep, you got it. All right, Erevan.
All right. I've got this dude right in my face.
You do. He's been in your face. It's the guy that you electrocuted.
Yeah. And most of my things are ranged. So I am going to disengage.
Okay.
And then I'm going to move. How big is this table that the scholar?
It's 4 squares by 4 squares. So 16. It's a big table.
Tall enough for me to kind of duck under?
Yeah, you can duck under it. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right. Go ahead and move yourself over, and you're ducking under it. Cool. I will give you partial cover there.
Okay, cool.
All right. So the Bays, it's his turn. He's definitely not happy that he got stabbed by a Kender. He goes ahead and slings his long sword at the Kender.
Oh, man, I should be doing a con. Oh. Okay.
So let's see. He's at 9. Nope. That looks like a. Wait. What is your AC, Weldon?
My AC is 16.
Yeah, no. Okay. He missed that one. But he gets to use multi-attack, so he tries to bite at you as well.
Oh.
And he missed on that too. Great. All right. Ari, it's your turn.
Jump. Okay. My turn? All right, so I'm going to do our bonus action, which is a taunt. I am going to try to taunt the guys attacking Garen. Try to bring that red draconian to try to come after me.
Okay. So why don't you tell us a little bit about taunt and how that works?
Okay. The rules of this is it's a bonus action, and what it is the target has to do a wisdom save, which is equal to 8 plus my proficiency bonus and my charisma mod. If he successfully saves, he's immune to taunting for 24 hours. But if he fails, basically he has to move and attack me. I've got him so peed off that he has to come after me. He has disadvantage attacks against any other targets until the start of the next turn. So if he tries to go after them and not me, hopefully I'll help them get them to miss.
So I just wanted to plug that. You can find our Kender race stats on the Nexus 5e rules. Dragonlance Nexus, just do a Google search and then look at the 5e drop down, and we rewrote the Kender, and I think it's a pretty cool write-up. So I will go ahead and make my wisdom save. And it was crap. So he is definitely going to be attacking you on his turn. So you just start verbally putting out insults.
So I have to give off the taunt. It's like, your scales are so ugly red that they look like blood dripping off over a poor lady's bottom.
All right. So he hears you. That's pretty pissed off. So he will definitely be coming after you on the ground. So we've got this remaining draconian is here. He is not happy that he was electrocuted. 1, 2.
That was a bonus action, so I can still go and make
normal action. You're right. Yeah, that's my bad. Go ahead.
Then I'll do the exact same thing to the Baz in front of me, which is to attack with a sneak attack again.
Okay. I don't think that you would get sneak attack on this one.
He does because Trampas is adjacent.
Oh. Gotcha.
So I will try to re-roll what I did before. So let me see if I got this right. +7 to hit. Oh,
12 is.
it is 12.
Yep. That's a miss. All right.
That's a hit?
No, it's a miss.
Okay.
All right. Apologies. Didn't mean to skip. All right.
All right.
So
and
now
so
we're back.
then my last action is to try to move this way. I'm imagining that draconian that's gonna come over is gonna like have to work around the table to get to me.
No. I mean, you're moving. Well, you're coming up. I mean, the table's only about, like a normal table is about 3 feet off. You're still moving through his threatened space, so you will get an attack against you.
That's fine. I'm just basically jumping down adjacent to get a little bit farther away from the red draconian.
Okay. All right. Nope, he missed too, because my dice rolling is terrible. All right. Black Draconian is not happy that an elf electrocuted him, and he wants blood. 6. And he will attempt to hit you with his rapier.
Didn't he just walk into and out of Trampas?
No, I walked around. There's a way to do it. I promise.
Okay.
And he missed anyway. I'm just rolling terrible. All right, Tarn, let's finish this up.
You're rolling terrible.
I've been rolling terrible.
It's a team effort from all of us, so I will swing again. 21 for 12.
Oh my god. Yeah, you hit, and he's dead. Go ahead, both you and the Minotaur need to give me reflex or a dex saving throw. As this guy explodes, he explodes in a burst of fire.
Yeah.
Whoops. All right.
We just kind of look at each other like.
Oh yeah, they do that, don't they?
Well, you don't. So you guys have never seen red draconians before. This is new. No one has ever seen them. It's strange, but you guys take 3 fire apiece, and I will take him off.
I'll go 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna stop right there, and I'll pass turn.
Gerrus.
All right, I'm gonna use it this time, I think. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
We're going for I think. What is it called? Let me look on my character sheet.
Charge.
It's a goring rush.
Yes. Special ability. This is gonna hurt.
All right, so it's all it is I move and I make an attack with my horns. It's bonus action.
Okay. Oh, this is a bonus action?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, you know what? Never mind. I'm just going to move and attack with my axe, and then I'm going to try and push him with my horns. The hammering horns.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm doing. There we go. 19.
Yeah, that's a hit.
The great axe. Boom. And then he has to succeed. Okay. But if he's dead, then it's anyway.
he's dead. And so now, go ahead and give me a dex saving throw.
Oh, good Lord.
It's a Baz. Remember what happens when a Baz dies?
Oh, of course. Yeah.
I was expecting the gore to be purely awesome. Because
that's what I was wanting you to do. I wanted you to gore him and get stuck.
Oh, come on, head stuck. No, yeah, definitely not.
You made it. You made your saving throw, so your axe does not get stuck as the Baz turns into basically a statue. It turns to stone. I'm going to set him at 0. I'm going to keep him there for now, just to say he's a statue.
Does the Minotaur though just kind of push through the statue and rocks explode everywhere? Because that would be awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, he just turns to stone.
Yeah.
I mean, if you wanted to take your bonus action and push him back, you can.
No. Yeah, I don't know. That's okay. It doesn't matter.
Okay. All right. So all the red draconians are gone, so I need to trash him. Oh, why are you still here? Away. All right, so we're back on MacGuffin. There's only one bad guy left in the room.
All right, and I need to invest in more attack spells.
Perhaps we should hold this one for questioning.
Yeah, I was wondering, can you get his feet?
Hold on.
That's possible.
Let me read a spell real quick.
Don't you memorize spells though? I can't remember with your class at the moment.
But I, as a player, forgot to familiarize myself with all this.
Okay. Guys, we're almost done with this encounter. You survived, surprisingly.
Can I cast Snare?
I'll allow it. It's first level. It's our first session. I'm not going to be a punk.
Where'd it go? There it is. All right.
Just know that I love you.
All right. Wow, that did a big description thing.
Yeah, I see it. It's here in the text. So
the way I figured this works is, I kind of picture my guy as having this, all these components that he can switch out at a moment's notice with kind of a gun-like item, So he takes off the hose, brings out a spool and wraps it around and goes around him and then disappears, and then he sets off the snare. And
okay.
Is there a save?
That's what I'm looking for.
Range.
Dexterity saving throw. That's what I have here is a dexterity.
All right, let's see if it works.
All right, this guy has a decent dex save, so let's see. Yeah, he makes it.
He saw me doing that crap.
Yeah, I mean the whole part of this. Yeah. All right.
I hate this guy.
Erevan, this guy is trying to get you hiding under a table.
All right.
Oh crap.
And I see no more hostile creatures from where I can kind of see out.
No, you see the one had turned to stone.
Okay. I'm going to I'm just going to try to command this dude to drop his weapons. So I'm going to kind of
Is that a wisdom saving throw?
I'm going to come out and it's not a spell. I'm just going to try to intimidate him. I'm going to come out and I'm just going to get right in his face and say, Slime, your friends are dead. Do not join them. You can barely hide if you lay down your arms.
So let's just say you don't move because that provokes an attack. Even if you are under the table. Because he's poking at you. So we'll say you start talking to him, and I'm even going to make you roll. He throws down his rapier, and as a free action, see the Baz is done, and I'm going to say this encounter is over. So we're out of initiative.
Yay!
Okay, I'll swipe up the rapier that he dropped. Just so he doesn't try to grab it again.
Okay. Did we lose somebody?
Tim.
Yeah, we lost Tim. I don't know what happened to him. All right. All right, so what are y'all doing?
We live and him live. He won't talk.
Oi.
I
think
think
most of
in my
everybody-
equipment I have rope,
Okay.
hempen, and let's tie him up. So I basically come in and I tie the, I guess, hands behind his back and tie the rope down so he can't get out.
Okay, and you do notice that he's got that strange dragon scale that seems to be all colors on his neck.
I tell him, hey guys, I tell everyone else in the party that I see something weird about the scale.
Okay. Tim, are you back? There you go.
I am poking my head out the door to see if I can see any more of the draconians.
Nope, they're gone. And pretty much all of their stuff has been burned up except the one you just tied up. And it's funny too, because this whole fight, Astinis has just been writing.
Since I'm right by this guy, I'm going to take a look at the scale that Ari was pointing out.
Okay, it looks like that. What do you want to? Do you want to take it off of his neck? Or
Like, is it like an amulet, or is it part of his scale?
It's got a scale the size of like a fist, and it's the weirdest scale you've ever seen, and it's all colors.
Okay. I'll just kind of grab it and ask him what this is. What does it mean?
He won't. He says nothing. He just growls at you.
Can I roll Arcana to see if I can figure out what it is?
Sure. You're gonna have to handle it though, I think.
Oi, can I see that, please?
I'll take it off his neck and give it to.
So as
MacGuffin.
soon as you take it off of his neck, you notice that the black draconian just disappears like he was never there.
Oh man, he took my rope.
But you still have. Yep, your rope is gone too. All right. You still have that scale though, and Erevan, you get some really weird feelings from it, like, but you're just not sure. Like you feel like it doesn't belong here, just like you don't belong here.
Okay. I kind of like hold it for a second, and I hold my hand out to the gnome to wait a minute, and I will focus on trying to discover something about this. I'll roll an Arcana check.
Okay.
And for those of you following at home, the subclass I've created for this Warlock, you get advantage on Arcana checks. So I will roll with advantage.
Hey.
All right.
Why are you rolling twice?
I accidentally hit it twice. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. So 22 is definitely
double
enough.
Sacred advantage.
You
Right.
you think because of your connection to the device of time journeying that these things have to do with time magic, like on the river magic, but you don't know how it works. You just know that it definitely has to do with time magic and a lot to do with your own power of how you don't really know where you are, but yes.
Okay.
It's an anchor, I think, but that's out of character.
I'll kind of gather my thoughts and then kind of like absently hand it over to the gnome while thinking about it.
Okay. What is so what is everyone else doing?
I think I'm going to need to check on things outside.
Okay. All right. So you run outside. I'm just going to focus on you here for a minute.
Okay.
As soon as you get outside,
I would follow him.
Okay. So we'll say you and Tarn step outside, and you follow the pathway out into the side street, and the side street is just a killing ground. There are 50 dead Salamnic men-at-arms and knights. And they look to have been burnt. Like, they've been burned up. The only people that are alive are over in the corner. And Sir Robert looks to have been burnt. And 2 men-at-arms are next to him. And they look wounded, but they look like they're okay. And they're trying to give him aid.
Okay, so he's still alive then.
He is barely alive. He is dying.
Well, then I run over to him. I'll give him my healing.
Magic healing. Magic healing.
I will save him, and I'll lay on hands.
Ah, well, all right.
So you go ahead and lay on hands, but for plot purposes, it's too late. So you can keep your lay on hands. He's ready to die.
If it was anybody,
so his last words was he looks up at you, Gerrus, and he says, "Never have I seen such destruction. Please take this." And he hands you his medallion of faith in the that has the sigil of Kir Jalith, and says it will bring you bravery. And then he passes away. And then the 2 men that are attending him say, "He healed us before attending to himself." And you can see that they have tears in their eyes.
Of course he did.
My payment.
I give him some kind of here. No, I'm just kidding.
I say you get stuff, but I didn't get anything.
So the men-at-arms tell you that the person that attacked us was a strange woman wearing a blue cloak. She had red skin and these strange small horns that came out of her forehead, and she just blew us up with evil sorcery, fireball.
It's been too much magic this day.
Yep, and she was holding on to the relic, and she ran off.
Which direction did she go?
She was heading towards the Temple District. All right, you guys are good there for a second. Let's go back into the room. So we have Ari, we have MacGuffin, and we have Erevan there. What else are you guys doing? Erevan is looking at this scale.
Well, I want to make sure that the guys who are wounded, since
I hand the scale.
actually didn't get wounded at all, have
One
healing
at a
potions
time.
on me.
Weldon, say that one more time.
I want to make sure that these guys have healing potions on hand, since I have a bottle. I was not injured at all during this fight, and so if anyone needs healing, I offer them my bottle.
Well, that's nice. The person who'd be the most wounded would. Okay, Erevan, what are you doing? You had mentioned. I'm sorry, people were talking over each other.
You broke up, Ed. The person who's most wounded is who?
Is Erevan the elf? John, what is your character doing?
I had handed off the scale, like I said, to the gnome because the gnome wanted to look at it. So I just kind of like absentmindedly handed it off to him while I was thinking about what I had learned about it.
Okay, so as you're doing that, Astinis closes his book. He looks at you and says, "You are not from here. This is not your time. You need to leave. You are an abomination. You are not from this river."
How am I to leave?
Go back how you came. Also, he also mentions the heart of Drakart was not supposed to be here. It is written that the heart was with the General Maranta, an Orak, far from Salamnia. So this is all not in what is planned, not for how the River of Time is supposed to flow.
Do I know who this guy is by chance?
Knowledge, history.
Or
do you have history or really history?
You might try history.
I mean, you heard MacGuffin call him a Stenith. I feel like, you'd know. Yeah, you know who he is. You know who he is.
Okay. I don't I might know who he is, but I don't necessarily care about who he is. So I just kind of say, maybe you need to take better notes because here it is.
So he has zero passion in his face. He says, "Find the woman that took the heart. They saw her outside. You'll get home that way." And he takes his book and he leaves. And I feel like this is a good place. What's that?
I wanted to see if I could read the book.
You gotta know what happened. You got to fight. So I feel like this is a good place to go. It's 11 o'clock. We're about a minute. Well, it's 11:01. We're a minute past. I will give you guys XP. I had actually already pre-done the XP. And you guys got about the 300 that you need to level through different, basically that encounter and some of the roleplay XP I was going to give you. So everybody gets 300 XP. Everybody's going to go up to second level. And being that we're at the end of our time, I wanted to say thank you if whoever's still here. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for watching our game. We'll do a better job next time. And we'll get this all ironed out. So I hope everyone does well. If anyone else wants to say goodbye, just thank you, and we're gonna go ahead and call it for the evening.
Goodbye.
See ya.
Bye, everyone.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks for tuning in. Friends of mine, friends of others, we appreciate your support and look forward to seeing you next month.
All right. Trampas, tell us when we're clear.